First of all, Samsuddin, whatever doubts you have raised, I am copying these into Word file. So these are the doubts raised by Samsuddin. I have attempted the mock paper which you mailed us on Saturday. I am very comfortable in solving the mock paper and was able to complete the paper in 2 hours time. When I was going through the answers for the self-marking, the mock, I noticed that few answers were not updated as per the Finance Act 2019. Following is the list of the answers that required to be updated. I request you to please check the same and let me know. You are 100% correct, sir. Because this mock paper was shared by ACCA Institute with me. I don't remember exactly, but I think August or September 2020. At that time, not August. I mean to say that before that, at that time, the Finance Act 2019 was not applicable. So some of the mistakes may be there, but still, let's see. AEA needs to be updated. Yes, you are correct. First of all, AEA, then the brought forward losses. Questions would have given the indexation factor instead of retail price index. Now, I will say that generally they should give indexation factor. But suppose they have given retail price index and not given indexation factor. We have to do. There is no other option because in the exam you cannot challenge that whether this indexation factor is retail or not. So whatever will be given in the question, you need to apply that way. The NIC is 8164 last year. Because of inflation, they have made 8632. That's correct. Working for capital allowance to be updated with latest provisions. What is the difference? Is there any huge difference in capital allowance? Because you are correct that the papers which I mailed, maybe some of the laws are as per 2018 Finance Act. You are correct. That's sure. FIA cars. But FIA car was different last year. I don't remember. It was also 100%. No. C02 emission. That also I think same only. Or now it is 50. Earlier what it was? Now it is 50, I remember. Earlier it was not 50. Oh, maybe. So it is wrong. Okay. You are correct. Car benefit percentage to be updated to 22%. What is that 22 and 17? I am not remembering. Ah. Oh, so that was 17 last year. Don't remember, sir. But whatever the percentage is there, that is applicable. You are 100% correct in all the issues. There is no confusion. Guarantee. No issue. Because I also don't remember what was the percentage last year. No issue. Okay. Now, the objective of our today's class is to do mock paper on the practice platform. Even though I said that you all will be doing practice platform mock paper on your own, but it is my liability that why the practice platform mock paper should be done, I should be communicating. So let me go on to institute website, accaglobal.com. Under students, study resources, self-assessment, but Acha, I will show that also. 1 second. Just give me 2 minutes. I'm telling. So question practice on practice platform. We need to change the version to UK version. I'm going for a specimen exam. It will be asking your registration ID and password of ACCA. Since that is already put in, so automatically it is taking. Okay. But whenever you will be using this question paper, you have to use your ID and password of ACCA. I'm not reading these instructions, what you can do, can't do, and all that. But as I said in the first class also, the students should be reading these instructions at least once so that they know what they can do, what they cannot do. Now, this is the first question. Okay. When I will solve this question, I need to check whether I am correct or wrong. But when you are in the exam hall, whether you can check your answers after doing one solution, can you check? You can't. So the purpose of this practice platform paper is 2-3 things. First, when we will be giving exam in exam hall, the screen presence will be exactly this. Nothing else. It is exactly what you will be, you can say, dummy of the screen presence in the exam hall. What symbols you can use, you can highlight, strike through, calculator, scratch pad. I mean to say that when we practice on practice platform, the most important part is speed. That may be something we are doing on a normal Excel and Word file. Like suppose in a normal Excel, you can add another column, you can delete column, you can add rows, you can delete rows. But in the exam, you can't do that. That function is not available. When they will give you Excel, this does not require Excel. Whenever the Excel is given, whatever rows and columns are given, that you need to use only. You can't add or delete columns and rows. When you do the paper on the practice platform, you will realize that what you should be doing so that you can bring speed in your solutions, which is very essential. And when we do the practice platform paper, the tax table and all that which are relevant, we will be referring and we will be realizing that where I should be using the tax table, where it's in every question or wherever I am forgetting. If I am forgetting the provisions, can something written in the tax table? That feeling will be coming that this thing is written. Even though in the entire syllabus in study material, everywhere it is written, this will be given in the tax tables and all that. But then when you solve the paper on the practice platform, you are getting the 100% feeling what will be given to you, what will not be given to you. So in case of confusion, you can open this. You can increase the size according to your comfort level. Everything will be as per your knowledge. Now suppose you are thinking that the size is very large, because how you will see the question and you want to, I mean to say, you want to remain it open in your entire exam. You can size it like this so that whatever you need to check, no, we can't Mane delete or insert columns. Whatever columns and rows are given, that we need to use only. Why? Because if that facility will be given to the student, with the Excel, they can connect with the Google, internet, everything. So in any exam, not only ACCA, ACCA, CIMA, CPA, CMA, any exam, the Excel which is given in the exam, you can't add or delete columns and rows. Whereas in the normal Excel, we can do that. और सृष्टि आप ये पूछ रहे हैं पीएम का एग्जाम दिए थे, you passed, but as I said, if the student, I have said message 2 times already, if the student is not practicing the questions on the practice platform, the chance of their passing will be very less. This I have said about practice platform, the user friendliness, what you will be able to do in exam. The second thing, when you are doing question on practice platform, you should not be thinking that where is the answer, because that you are doing in study material, exam kit, everywhere. Here also if you think, because most of the student message me, sir answer kahan hai? If you are thinking that how I will tally my answers now, that means you are in the wrong direction. The questions which are given in the practice platform, they are same only which is there in the study text, exam kit, the previous past term papers, PDF file, they are same only. There the answers is already given. Here also they will give the answer here only. Then so we will not practice. The purpose of this is that we should be practicing question, as I said in the WhatsApp message 2 times. And I will again message 1 or 2 days later, 3rd time. That you need to complete the paper in 3 hours. Thinking that you are sitting in the exam hall. As I said in the previous class also, we should be solving 2 papers at least on the practice platform. And I know that you have not solved any paper on practice platform, nobody. So I need to initiate that efforts from your side. Suppose today you are 3 hours free. Open a practice platform paper, finish it in 3 hours. If suppose in 3 hours you could not complete, then also submit it. After submitting, you will be able to check self-mark your answers. How you will do self-mark, I gave in the message, but generally the student don't want to read the English. So the self-mark features is there. When you will self-mark, there are 2-3 things you will be able to do. The detailed explanation of the answer, where you have done wrong, then the explanation by the institute, the provisions relating to that. So you will be able to realize where your weak areas are there. What are the things which you are not able to remember? What are the things where you are doing spelling mistake? That should have been correct. So you will be working on your weak areas for coming 2 days, 3 days by revising the stuff in which you are weak. Again, one more mock paper you will be giving on the practice platform. If you do this, then only the chance of passing will come. If we don't do this, we cannot pass the exam. We will go on studying topic wise the way we are doing. I have written categorically in the message. If somebody will say that I have not completed the study, then also do the papers on the practice platform. And when you are doing the question on practice platform, don't try to see the answer before completing the paper. Complete it in 3 hours. Get the feeling of the exam. As I said in the previous class also, that this today and Friday, I will be doing paper. This I am intentionally doing because I am making you importance, making you feel the importance of doing the paper on practice platform. On Friday, I will not do from practice platform because there are 3 papers given. One is sample and the other practice 1, practice 2. That you should be doing on your own. I will be doing on Friday other PDF papers. And then after Friday, I will take a test, not as a class. I will decide the time with all of you. I will give you a mock paper exactly at the time at which we will decide. And you will submit the answers within 3 hours. When you submit the answer, you have to use normal Word and normal Excel only. You will submit me the answer within 3 hours, then only I will evaluate. Because in this week, up till Friday, you revise everything. You do 2 tests on your own. And on Saturday, suppose I will give you paper. You will submit me the answer. I will evaluate you. And then whatever the loopholes are there, that you will cover up in Sunday, Monday, or whenever is the exam. And then you will go for the exam. So 1 we are doing in the class. 2 you will do on your own. 1 I will take a test. And some on Friday we will be doing some questions from the PDF files and all that. so that a better revision can be done. But any single student should not be going for the exam for any subject without doing at least 2 papers on the practice platform. That's my request by folding my hands. If you say that I have not studied this not come, आपका जो भी complete हुआ नहीं हुआ, forget that. If you want to pass, you have to solve the papers on the practice platform. So I will complete this paper, then I will show you how can you check your answers, evaluate your answers, because since it is a taxation subject, I also don't remember every provision. I'm not God. And I will be using some tax tables and all that because we don't remember that what are the things which are given in the tax table. So everything, when we do this, then we will realize that in exam I should be doing like this to save my time, to speed up. And in exam, the most important part is what? If I am not able to do this, why I am wasting on my time on this? Why not I am going in the second one? Initially, the first 1 hour, you should be doing those things, maybe part A, B, C, whatever, which you can do like this. Like this in the sense, don't waste your time. If part C question you were doing initially, then don't think that I will be writing extra and all that. There is no extra marks. You need to save your time where your knowledge is there. The first 1 hour should be there that we should score around 35-40 marks. That means we cannot fail. Because already in 1 hour, if I have scored 40 marks, so balance 2 hours, I can easily score 10 marks. Now the tension of failure gone. The second hour should be used for those questions which you think that you can do, but they will take some time. You need to apply your brain. Some extra time is required. You complete that in next 2 hours, next 1 hour. The last hour, that is third hour, whatever the balance left you will be doing. In the last 5 to 10 minutes, your brain will not function because you will be always looking at the watch which is going above on the top, that time is getting out and all that. And here you cannot request to the invigilator, sir, 2 minutes or de dijiye. Once 3 hours is over, the paper will be submitted automatically. So for that reason, in the last 5 to 10 minutes, whatever is left, answer it, because there is no negative marking. If your all answers are wrong, you will get the same marks only. If maybe by chance 1 or 2 are correct, you will get more marks. But you should not leave a single marks question. In my life, I have given so many exams. Never I have left a single marks paper in exam. That's my record. CA 20 exams, CWA 20 exams, CS 20 exams, CFA, ICAI CFA so many exams, CIMA so many exams. In CIMA 5 exams only because balance I got exemption. Never I left a single marks question in exam. You will call after the exam, sir, mera ye 2 number chhod gaya. I will say okay. But I am saying beforehand, don't leave a single mark paper in exam if you want to pass. If you want to score good marks, don't leave a single marks paper. And this is the time that we should practice on the practice platform only. Topic wise study time is gone. Practice on the practice platform, evaluate your performance, then work on your weak areas, then again on the practice platform. So that speed and everything you can control. And how you can check the answers, that I will be showing you, even though I messaged, but I will be showing you, which is very easy, simple. So we are doing this paper. Wherever, I mean to say, in the class, I am not focusing on time. I am focusing on your understanding. So maybe I am taking more time. But if I am giving exam and I am thinking that this question I don't know, don't skip. What? First 1 hour I need to score 35-40 marks. That's my target. William is a self-employed and its tax adjusted trading profits for the year 5th April 2020 was 84,050. Tax adjusted trading profits. That is business income. During the year 2019-20, William contributed 5,400 gross into a personal pension scheme. Gross, not net, already divided by 80%. What amount of class 4 national insurance contribution will William pay for the tax year 19-20? In class 4, which NIC is there? In class 4, which NIC is there? That is for businessman on the taxable trading profit. If your taxable trading profit is greater than 8,632, but then there is a slab that if it is beyond 50,000, the rate is less. Up till 50,000, the rate is lower. Is this written here? NIC 9% up till 50,000 and then 2% beyond 50,000. But then 50,000 minus 8632. Relating to NIC, what are the provisions they have written? Class 4 NIC. If somebody don't remember, then also the provisions are written. That means if you forget this, exam में ये दिया रहेगा. Up till 8632, nothing. 8632 to 50,000 and then from 50,000 ever. But the rates are not given. You need to remember the rates 9% and 2%. So it is whatever they are saying. How much they are saying? $84,050. So 84,050 minus 8632. 84,050. You are saying that they have written 9%. Oh. वो इधर है, sorry. 9%, 2% is also written. ठीक है. So it's 50,000 minus 8632 into 9%, and then whatever is the figure beyond 50,000 on that 2%. So the total is coming, you are saying 4404. Okay. Moving forward, Srishti and Naman. The second question. You are a trainee chartered accountant and your firm has a client who has refused to disclose a chargeable gain to HM revenue. Ghapla. So you will be advising that don't do this from an ethical point. The first topic which we did. Two of the following actions would be expected of your firm. Reporting under the money laundering. Yes. Advising the client to make disclosures. Yes. Informing HMRC of non-disclosures. No. Warning the client that your firm will be reporting the non-disclosures. No. The first A and B. Money laundering, and you will be advising him, bhai, don't do like this. Informing to the income tax department is not our job. Warning the client that you will inform is not our job. We are auditor, not a bloodhound. M is self-employed, and for the year ended 5th April 2020, his trading profit was 1,09,400. During the tax year 1920, M made a gift add donations of 800 gross to a national charity, personal allowance. So 800 will be deducted from 1,09,400, which will be 1,08,600. Now beyond 1,08,600, it is 8,600 more. So half of that we will not get. So 4,300 gone. So 12,500 minus 4,300. So we will be getting 8,200 balance. Are we getting? This is initial chapters only. If wherever you will be facing problem, please tell me. I think we are 100% accurate up till now. So in the exam, believe me, how I will tell you. If somebody will say that I cannot pass taxation exam, he cannot pass any exam. The taxation and auditing are the easiest subject in skill level to pass. But performance management, financial reporting are difficult to pass. And out of the whole lot, the taxation is the easiest paper to pass the exam. For the year ended 31st March 2020, H Limited made a trading loss of 1,80,000. ठीक है? H Limited owned 100% of the ordinary share capital of S Limited. It began trading on 1st July for the year ended 30th June 2020. S Limited will make a trading profit of 2,24,000. On the top, they have given for 31st March 2020 loss is 180, and we have 100% subsidy. This we did for company recently in the class. 100% of ordinary share. H Limited has owned 100% subsidy, and it began trading on 1st July only. And for the year ending June, the S Limited made a profit this. Neither company has any other taxable profit or allowable losses. What is the maximum amount of group relief which S Limited can claim from H Limited in respect of trading loss of 1,80,000 for the year? For the same period, we need to calculate for both the company. Actually, the company subsidy has July to June, and we have the year ending is March. So March means April, but the common period is 9 months. The common period is 9 months. So in the 9 months, what is our loss? And in the 9 months, what is their income? So what is our loss in 9 months? And what is their income in 9 months? So since they are asking maximum, so we are saying 168, but actually we will be able to adjust 135 only. What we should say? What is the maximum amount of group relief which Swallow Limited, lower of both? So 135 only, na? 168 not. $135 only. Because you can't adjust out of 180, 135. Mane 168, you can't. For the year ended 31st March 2019, S Limited had a taxable trading profits of 8,20,000, and for the year ended 31st March 2020 had taxable total profits of 970. For the year March 19 had a taxable total profit this. For the year March 2020 this. The profit accrue evenly throughout the year. S Limited has had a 51% group company for many years. How will S Limited will pay its corporate tax liability for the year ended March 2020? Why they have given the detail for 2019, the detail is not required. They will be paying tax quarterly. Actually, I mean to say 7th month, 10th month and so on. Large company, na? Large company, what was the provision? How much turnover should be there for a large company? 5 lakh. Don't remember. 11, but they are not large company. 1.15 lakh. But this is not a large company then, na? Has 51% group company for many years. Okay. Okay, yes. Last 12 months profit is 970 they have given, na? Why you are saying 750? Okay, because since they are subsidiary, yes. So the maximum limit will be divided between two parts. You are correct. The 1.5 million 15 lakh will be divided into two parts because we have a subsidiary. So 750. So we are coming in the large company, and then 19% divided by 4 quarterly tax we will be paying. 19% divided by 4 quarterly tax payment in current year estimates. Yes. on the basis of current year estimates. So 9,70,000 into 19% divided by 4. You are 100% correct. What is the figure coming? 9,70,000, 46,075. There is nothing wrong up till now. Guarantee. Because with your help, I am able to do correct. But otherwise, last one I would have done wrong. For the year ended 31st December 2019, L Limited has a corporation tax liability 60,000, which it did not pay until 31st March 2021. What is the last date to pay? L Limited is not a large company. How much interest will L Limited will be charged by HM and cost in respect of the late payment of the corporation tax liability for the year ended 31st December 2019? What was the provision for late payment? Tax tables. 3.25% that we remember. That is different thing. If I will increase this 1 second. But the period we need to remember. 3.25% is okay. But then the period we need to remember when they have paid the tax 31st March 2021. For the year ended December 19, L Limited has a corporation tax liability of 60,000, which it did not pay until March 21. Lateness is not a large company. So, what is the interest charge? 3.25% for 6 months. Why the 6 months? Because it is, I think, 6 months from the end of the year. Na? You are correct. 6 months from the end of the year. So end of the year is December. So it is 30th June. But then 30th June to 31st March is coming 9 months. It is 9 months. I don't remember. But that is not written in the tax rule. The due date is 9 months from the end of the year. So December means September. So September to March, it is 6 months. So on 60,000 at the rate of 3.25% into 6 by 12. On 60,000 at the rate of 3.25% into 6 by 12. Yes, you are correct. अभी मेरे को याद आ गया. When you said 9 months, then I realized. But this 9 months story is not written in the tax slab. 3.25% is written. On 26th November 2019, Alice sold an antique table for 8,700. The antique table had been purchased on 16th May 2014 for 3,800. We discussed in the capital gain, chargeable gain chapter, wasting chattel. For wasting chattel, if the sale price is greater than 6,000, then in that case, the gain will be calculated considering 6,000, above 6,000 into 5 by 3 and the normal gain. So it is normal gain is 8,700 minus 3,800. And if we go with that rule, then it is 8,700 minus 6,000 into 5 by 3. 8,700 minus 6,000 into 5 by 3 and 8,700 minus 3,800. So which one is coming lower? Not lower, higher. Not lower, higher or lower. What was the case? So lower one is which one? Just calculate 8,700 minus 6,000. 2,700 into 5 by 3 and 8,700 minus 3,800. So which one is lower? So lower is 4,500 then. Yes. So stage correct. Good. Chattel rules. Capital gain chattel rules. On 14th November 2019, Jane made a cash gift to a trust of 8 lakh after deducting all available expenses. Jane paid the inheritance tax arising from this gift. Jane has not made any other lifetime gifts. Who is paying the tax? Donor or donee? Jane made a cash gift to a trust of 8 lakh. Donor. So donor, what is that is into 20 by 125, 18, 25%. Yes. And Jane paid the inheritance tax from this gift. Jane has not made any other lifetime gifts. So what will be the tax? So we will get 3 lakh 25 benefits. So 8 lakh minus 3 lakh 25 into 25%. 8 lakh minus 3 lakh 25 into 25%. So 118750. During the tax year 1920, M made 4 cash gifts to her grandchildren. Again gift. For each of the gift listed below, click in the box to indicate whether the gift would be exempt or not. Exempt from inheritance tax under the small gift exemptions, which was less than 250. So it is 400 to Alfred, not exempt. 142 mini. 142 mini is exempt. No. Why no? Who is mini? For each of the gift listed below, click in the table. Oh, mini, they have said 280 further. Yes, not exempt. Sorry. Because in the second point, they have written again mini. So the limit is 250. So if it is greater than 250, entire is not exempt. 175, this is exempt. Because it is less than 250. If the mini would not have been the third point, then mini would also be exempt. Okay. For the quarter ended 31st March 2020, Jim had standard rates sales of 49,750 and standard rate expenses 22,750 VAT, the recent classes. Both figures are exclusive of VAT. So into 20% straight away. Jim uses the flat rate scheme to calculate the amount of VAT payable with the relevant scheme percentage for the trade is 12%. They said that if the person is going in flat rate scheme, the flat rate will be given in exam. The percentage reduction for the first year of VAT registration is not available. The percentage reduction for the first year of VAT registration is not available. How much VAT will have to pay for the quarter ended? But why you are saying this? We have to pay tax on inclusive figure. But then we can choice now. They are not asking choice. They are not asking choice. For that reason you are saying. Actually, we can go for normal. 49,750 minus 22,750 on the balance at the rate of 20%. And the other option is that is the flat rate scheme. In the flat rate scheme, input is not available. In the flat rate scheme, straight away you need to pay tax on the gross revenue. And the gross revenue should be inclusive of tax. You are correct. What a lovely memory. When you are saying, then I am memorizing. Fantastic. Very good study done. Because one option is that 49,750 minus 22,750 into 20%. The other option is that in flat rate scheme, input credit is not available. On the output, including VAT, you need to charge the flat rate. So it is 7164 you were saying. That is 49,750 plus 20% on that at the rate of 12%. Fantastic. But if we go in the normal scheme, then what will be the charge? Just for the sake, for our understanding. 49,750 minus 22,750, which is 27,000. 27,000 into 20% will be 5,400 only. Then in that case, the cost would have been lower. But then they are not asking that. Okay. Which two of the following assets will always be exempt from capital gain tax? Motor car always exempt. Government security always exempt. Very lollipop this one. W has already invested 8,000 into a cash individual saving account during the year 1920. Still within tax year 1920, Wilson wants to invest into a stocks and shares ISA. What is the maximum? 12,000. No, they are saying balance. Out of 28,000 you have already done. The limit is 20. So 20 minus 8 balance 12. 20 would be wrong, Srishti. How much he can invest in the stocks and shares of ISA? Total limit is 20. Out of 20 you have already done 8,000. So balance is 12. Yes, yes. I understand. Thank you. For each of the type of records listed below, click the box to indicate the date until which Ming must retain the records used in preparing self-assessment, whether it's VAT, whether it's income tax, next 6 years. For 1920, which is March 2020, March 2026. जबरदस्ती का लिख रहे, whether it's a business records, non-business records, VAT records, further 6 years. Further 6 years. No. All are 6 years. You are saying 1 year for non-business. But still, okay, we will check. I am accepting your view. You have reached the maximum number selections for this item. Okay. If 1 year, then to 31st January. But I am thinking that everywhere 6 years records. Because the problem is that if any person is doing ghapla, then the government has the right to ask you details of last 6 years. That's the reason. Okay, we will check later. No issue. I am just saying with my general sense. If I have done any ghapla, how the government can ask me only for 1 year records? They can ask me 6 years, always. M Limited has had the following results. Year ended 31st December 2019, 1,05,000 loss. 4 months period ended 31st December 18, that is previous year. Why 4 months? Maybe they have changed their year. And year ended 31st August 2018, 96. The company does not have any other income. How much of M Limited trading losses for the year 19? That is 1,05,000 in the loss year. Can be relieved against a total profit of 96,000 for the year. Basically 1,05,000 minus 43. Balance. What's the issue? You can carry it back how many years? Yes, 12 months. But you need to consider that your year ending is what? December 19. Now, if it would have been your year ending would remain December only. Then why you would be making your income for 4 months calculation? What do you think? You are thinking 96,000 into 12 by 8 because last 12 months. How much figure will come? 64,000. Option is there. Maybe you are correct because it was exactly last 12 months. So we need to do proportionate calculation. Okay. How much of M trading loss for the year can be relieved against its total profit of 96,000 for August 18? It will be 1,05,000 minus 43, balance 63,000. Balance 63,000, but 63,000 is not in the option. 1,05,000 minus 43, 62 is only left. Yes, that is I am thinking. How much FM trading loss for the year can be relieved against the total profit of 96? So we should say 62. Yes. Maximum amount we can set of 64, but we will adjust 62 because that is left only. I am also thinking. We will check. This suppose I am doing flag. And the previous one also I am doing flag. In these two we have the confusion. You are saying how much of M limited trading losses. They are not saying maximum. They are saying how much of the loss. So 62 should be the answer. Yes. This is part A, last question, 15th question. N has not previously been resident in UK. Being in the UK for less than 20 days each tax year. Being in the UK. N has not previously been resident in UK. Being in the UK for less than 20 days each tax year. For the year 2019-20, he has 3 ties with the UK. 3 ties he has finished. What is the maximum number of days which N could spend in UK during 1920? Now forget the provisions. I need to go into table. याद नहीं है भाई. What are the ties I forgotten? Residence status. Previously resident, not previously resident. What is the question? Right here. One second. N has not previously been resident in UK. Okay. So not previously resident in UK. Out of these, less than 16, 16 to 45, 46 to 90. 91 resident in UK ties. The 2 ties he has already, 3 ties he has already met. I think we remember that we have to be 4 ties for the person to be treated as a resident. When not previously resident, 4 ties. And 3 he has already filled up. What is the question they are asking? What is the maximum number of days and spent in UK during year without being resident? So he will be maximum he can stay 46 to 90 days. Because when 3 ties are met, and if you are in the current year 91 days, you will be treated as a resident. So when the 3 ties are met, then in that case you need to be there maximum 90 days, not more than 90 days. Because already 3 ties are met. So अगर आप 91 days से 90 days से ज्यादा रहोगे, then you will be treated as resident. So maximum 90 days. In the current year, he can stay maximum 90 days, still he will be treated as a non-resident. So first part gone. Second part, which is on the basis of scenario, 5 questions each. First, read the scenario properly. I think this is relating to capital gain. On 10th January 2020, D made a gift of $25,000 one ordinary shares in D Limited, an unquoted trading company, to its son. The market value of the shares on that date was 2,40,000. D had subscribed for 25,000 shares in D Limited at par, that means at 25,000. So capital gain is 240 minus 25. D and Grant have elected to hold over the gain as a gift of a business asset. What they are saying? D and Grant have elected to hold over the gain as a gift of a business asset. D and Grant have elected to hold over the gain as a gift of a business asset. That means they want to hold over so that they will not be required to pay tax. But then the taxable gain is 240 minus 25. Grant sold 25,000 shares in D Limited on March 18, 2020 for 2,40,000. Actually, holdover gain means it will be taxable when Grant will sell. D Limited has a share capital of 1 lakh ordinary share. D was the sales director of the company from its incorporation on 1st July 2008 until 10th January 2020. There was a provision how many years you were the director in an unquoted company. Grant has never been an employee or a director of D Limited. For the year 2019-20, D Limited and Grant are both higher rate taxpayer. They have each made other disposals of assets during the tax year, and therefore they have both already utilized their annual exemption of 12,000 limit. But then the sale of shares by Grant will not be exempt. ठीक है? On 28th March 2020, M sold a residential property of 497, which he had owned individually. On 28th March 2020, M sold a residential property of 497, which he had owned individually. Residential property. But this is his self-owned. The property has been purchased on 22nd October 2004 for 1,52,600. Throughout the period of ownership, the property was occupied by M and his wife, Alvita, as her main residence. Okay. 1/3 of the property was always used exclusively for business purpose by the couple. So 2/3 is used for personal purpose. Entrepreneurial relief is applicable only for the personal portion. It is not available in respect of this disposal. Entrepreneurial relief is not available in respect of this disposal. What was the entrepreneurial relief? ER. This question is based on the relief part, capital gain relief part. In the first part also, here also. For the tax year 1920, M is a higher rate taxpayer. Both Alvita did not have any taxable income. He can transfer his 12,000 to her wife. Selling of the entire business assets or substantial portion, we have to pay CGT. But he's selling one of, if he will be selling this property, it is one property only. That is not selling business. This will remain the case for the tax year 2020. You are correct, Samsuddin. Neither of them has made any other disposal of assets during the year. ठीक है? So one is relating to transfer to son shares and then share sold by son. The other is relating to property which is used for business purpose and residential purpose. Mane residential 2/3, 1/3 business purpose is sold out. That story they have given. ठीक है? What is grants capital gain tax liability for the year 1920 in respect of the disposal of the shares of Dove Limited? Since it is, you can say, transfer of shares to son, and there was a provision that if it is lineal descendant, then in that case, at the time of transfer, it is not taxable, but when the other party sale, then it is taxable. So when it is sold on 18th March for 240 and the cost for father was 25, according to me, the answer should be 240 minus 25, which is 2,15,000, and 2,15,000 into 20%. How much? Why we are not deducting 12,000? Because they have said that they have huge gain which they have already used everything. So then they need to pay straight away tax of 20%. What do you say, Samsuddin, Srishti and Aman? मेरे ख्याल से तो ये ध्यान आ रहा है मेरे को. Holdover gain applicable means the gain is not taxable when it is given to son, those shares. But when the son is selling those shares, it will be taxable. If the father would have sold, then it's another thing. Again, it would not be taxable. Because there was a provision if you are selling unquoted company shares and all that. But here it is 43,000 taxable tax amount. Still we will check. Which two of the following statement would have been true in relation to CGT implications of D? D had instead sold 25,000 shares in D Limited himself for 2,40,000 on 10th January 2020. If D had instead sold the 25,000 shares in D Limited himself for 2,40,000 on 10th January and then gifted the cash proceeds to Grant, then to it is not taxable. Then in that case, it will not be taxable. What do you say? The cash gift would not have been chargeable to disposal because there is no gain. I am giving to my son 10,000 rupees. 10,000 is the value. There is no gain. The cash gift would not have been a chargeable disposal and any other option. Since he is selling, so he had entrepreneurial relief he will be getting. Because he is the major shareholder of the company, he was the employee of the company and all that. Those provisions are there. So he will be getting entrepreneurial relief. Yes, Naman. Correct. The cash gift would be qualified for handover relief. No. The CGT liability would have been paid later. The CGT liability would not have been paid later. Entrepreneurial relief will be there. But the CGT liability after entrepreneurial relief, whatever is there, need to be paid. What do we say? Holdover relief means if shares of a company in which you have the maximum shareholding unquoted company and you are giving to your son or parents, I don't remember parents tha kya, then in that case at the time of transfer it is not taxable. Hold, it will be taxable later when it will be sold out. So when they both claimed the holdover again, for that reason it was not taxable at that time. Otherwise, so when the gift is given, at that time only it will be taxable. Na? Yeah, but I am thinking that why not B number is correct also. The CGT liability would have been paid later. Because entrepreneurial relief will help that tax is not payable now. Because that is also correct now. No. Oh, but entrepreneurial relief is 10%. Yes, yes, no difference. Sorry. Sorry, my mistake. Correct. What is Marlen's chargeable gain for the year 1920? So the Marlen story was that for 1920, the gain is 497 minus 152 600. But they will be able to get entrepreneurial relief for what? They will be able to get entrepreneurial relief for what? Or they will be able to get one another relief, PPR relief. Yes. But that is only relating to residential portion. They will be able to get the PPR relief only relating to residential portion. One second. It's 497 minus 152. The gain is how much? 497 minus 152 600. The gain is how much? 344 400. Out of 344 400, two-thirds he will be able to get PPR. What was the PPR limit? Because two-thirds is for residential purpose. So for two-thirds he will be able to get PPR. What was the PPR limit? 2 lakh 50 or 350? I don't remember. So out of 3 lakh 44 400, two-thirds is not taxable. No limit. There was some limit in the capital gain for individuals, 1 lakh 50, I think. That was something else. Oh, that was at the time of death. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes. That was at the time of death. That was IST. Yes, sorry, sorry. Not in capital gain. So the taxable amount will be basically 344 400 minus 229 600. 344 400 minus 229 600. That is the taxable amount. Yes. I was mixing capital gain and IST both. Sorry. What is the amount of CGT that could have been saved if M had transferred 50% ownership of the residential property to Alvita prior to its disposal? So they have written that Alvita don't have any income. Her income is Laddu. So the income is how much we have calculated? 1,14,800. Half of that is how much? 1,14,800. Half of that is how much? 57,400. They are saying that if the M had transferred 50% ownership of property to Alvita, so out of 57,400, she will be able to claim what are the things? AEA 12,000. So the balance taxable amount is how much? 45,400, na? 45,400. Now on 45,400, what will be the tax? 18% and 28% because it's a residential property. So what is this? Yes. So I'm saying that then what tax saving we are doing? we can say that C is able to claim 12,000 which the marginal is not able to claim. C is able to claim 12,000 extra which marginal is not able to claim. And the balance income which C is paying, C is paying tax at the rate of up till slab the tax rate is 18%. In a higher slab it is 28%. So up till 37,500 it will be taxable at the rate of 18. And beyond 37,500 it will be taxable at the rate of 28. So when the entire income is in the hands of Marlon, then in that case entire income is taxable at 28% because he is in higher income slab. But if it would have been transferred to wife, then the 12,000 AEA exemption which is taxable at 28% but taxable in the hands of wife 0, and up till what I should say 37,500 it will be 18% in place of 28%. We are saying 45,400 will be taxable, but on beyond 37,500 whatever amount is there that will anyhow taxable at 28%. So what is the net saving? The 12,000 AEA which is 28% full, and for 37,500 the tax is 18%, but in case of Marlon it is 28%. So on 37,500 there is saving of 10%, and on 12,000 there is a saving of 28% fully. On 12,000 28% full there is no tax, and on 37,500 it is at the rate of 10%. That's the net saving. If half of the property ownership transferred to wife, then the wife would have been able to claim 12,000 AEA which the husband could not claim, and the wife would be paying up till 37,500 18% tax which the husband is paying 28%. So 12,000 into 28% and 37,500 into 10%. It will come 7,110. 12,000 into 28% plus 37,500 into 10%. It's a good question, but because if transferred to wife would be able to claim those things, but husband is already very higher income slab. So husband is paying straight away 28% tax. Why would it have been beneficial if M had delayed the sale of the residential property and payment of tax देर से करना होएगा? A lower rate, 2 annual principal private residence, the CGT liability would have been paid later. That's all. Because अपने 6th April में चले जाएंगे तो we are going in new year. So new year में जाने से what is the benefit? The tax payment will be after further 1 year. So that is the benefit we will be getting. Okay. Now this is another story. But the Samsuddin, that option is not there. You have not viewed. I'm saying that that option 12K is not there. So for that reason we are selecting this. Mainly the feeling of this provision is what? You will be able to get the benefit of paying the tax later. That's the only thing mainly. ठीक है? You should assume that today's date is 15th March 2020. Opal is aged 71 years and has a chargeable estate for inheritance. IHT is the story. Inheritance. Opal is aged 71 years and has chargeable estate for inheritance tax purpose valued at 9,50,000. His estate is 9,50,000. She owns her 2 properties residential valued at 374,442. But for one she will get 150, which I was saying in the previous question by mistake. The first property has an outstanding repayment mortgage of 160, and the second property has an outstanding endowment we cannot deduct, because endowment automatically at the death will be paid. Opal owed to 22,400 in respect of personal loan from bank, and he has also verbally promised to pay legal fees 4,600. That cannot be deducted. Incurred by nephew. Opal expects the cost of her funeral 5,200, that will be deducted, and this cost will be covered by the 6,000 that she has invested in an individual saving account. Under the terms of her will, Opal has left all of the estate to her children. Opal's husband to her children. Opal husband is still alive. बच्चा लोग को छोड़कर गई है. On 14th August 2010, Opal had made a gift of 1 lakh. When we are there, we are on 15th March 2020. It is more than 7 years. Because August 14, 2010, Opal had made a gift of 1 lakh to her daughter on 7th November 2019. Sorry. And on 7th November, on 14th August, Opal made a gift of 1 lakh to her daughter. And on 7th November 19, that is 1 year back only around, not 1 year, less than 1 year, she made a gift of 2 lakh 20 to her son. Both these figures are after deducting all available expense exemptions. The nil rate band for the year 2010-11 is 3 lakh 25. You should assume that both the values of Opal estate and the nil rate band will remain unchanged for future years. ठीक है? The entire story is relating to IHT. What is the net value of the two properties which will have been included in the calculation of Opal's chargeable estate of 9 lakh 50? Whether we should deduct 150 or not. Because the value of property, I can say 374 plus 442 minus 160, not minus 92. Why? Because that we claim as a chargeable gain then. They are saying what is the value of property to be included. Okay. So basically 3 lakh 74 plus 442 minus 1 lakh 60. How much it will come? 656. Yes. So this one is 656. Then which two of the following amounts will have been deducted in calculating Opal's chargeable estate of 950? Which two of the following amounts will have been deducted in calculating Opal's chargeable estate of 950? Personal loan from a bank. A, yes. Promise to pay legal fees, no. Funeral expenses, yes. There is no confusion in this. Endowment होता है कि जब आप डेथ होता है तो जो लोन वाला है उसको पैसा वहीं से मिल जाता है. Endowment policy. In endowment policy, if you have done endowment, then the life insurance will pay to the payer. So since it is paid by the policy, money insurance policy to the payer, for that reason we ignore that. Okay, that is not our liability. That's the reason. What amount of IHT will be payable in respect of Opal chargeable estate valued at 950, where she died on 28th March 2020? What amount of IHT will be payable? IHT payment is 40%. On the estate, IHT payment is 40%. What amount of IHT will be payable in respect of Opal chargeable estate valued at 950, where she to die on 28th March 2020? Now we are saying that at the time of death, we get this 3 lakh 25. But 3 lakh 25 may say in the last 7 years, have we used anything? Gifted to her Son, so out of 325, 220 is already utilized in last 7 years. So what is the balance amount is still to be utilized? Out of 3,25,000, 2,20,000 in last 7 years already utilized. PET. So the balance you can say 1,05,000. So out of 950, 1,05,000 gone. So balance 845. 845 into 40%. 845 into 40%. That is 338 according to me, because they are saying that the chargeable estate is this. So we don't have to read the provision. Just that 9,50,000 is the chargeable gain, including everything. Within last 7 years, she made a 220 PET. So out of 325, that is gone. Balance can be adjusted from 950. And on the balance, the tax is at the rate of 40%. What do you say? I am correct? 90%, not 100%. I don't know. We will check the answers. Don't worry. By how much would the IHT payable on Opal's death be reduced if she were to live for another 7 years? By how much would IHT payable on Opal's death be reduced if she were to live? तो 220 से और reduce हो जाता है, 220 का 40% compared to if she die on 28th March, because she is not able to get the 325 benefit fully. So 220 into 40%, 88,000. क्या यार? If that is correct, this one is correct here. Which two of the following conditions must be met if Opal wants to make gifts out of her income so that these gifts are exempt from IHT? Which two of the following conditions must be met if Opal wants to make gifts out of her income so that these gifts are exempt from IHT? The gift cannot exceed 10% of income, nothing like that. The gift must be habitual, yes, कि उसके जीने के लिए. Opal must have enough remaining income to maintain her normal standard of living. Yes, Opal must make the gifts monthly or quarterly. Second and third. Samsuddin, you are correct. Which two of the following conditions must be met if Opal wants to make gifts out of her income so that these gifts are exempt? एक तो हैबिचुअल होना चाहिए और एक आपका स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग खराब नहीं होना चाहिए. ये नहीं कि अपने आप को मार के यू विल बी गिविंग गिफ्ट. नाउ दिस इज पार्ट बी, लास्ट वन. Scenario and then 5 questions. So one was capital gain, one was IST, and the third one VAT. The 3 areas they have tested in part B. The following information is available in respect of Glacier Limited value added tax for the quarter ended March 31st, 2020. Quarter March 2020, last quarter. Invoices were issued for sale of 44,600 to VAT registered customers. Of this figure, 35,200 was in respect of exempt sales and the balance in respect of standard rated sales. The standard rated sales figure is exclusive of VAT. ठीक है? In addition to the above, on 1st March 2020, Glacier Limited issued a VAT invoice of 8,000 plus VAT of 1,600 to VAT registered customer in respect of a contract that will be completed on 15th April. The customer paid the contract in 2 installments of 4,800 on 31st March and 30th April. ठीक है? So the invoice is raised, work will be done on 15th April, but the customer made the payment 50% advance, 50% later. The managing director of Glacier Limited provided with free fuel for private mileage driven in a company motor car during the quarter ended 2020. The total cost of fuel for the business and private mileage is this, of which 270 was for private mileage. The relevant quarterly scale charge is 414. All of these figures are inclusive of VAT. For the quarter ended 30th September 2018 and 30th September 18 and 30th June 19. That is the last 2 quarters before the current quarter. Current quarter is March, January to March. They are saying September and June. Where is December? That means before the last one. We are in the quarter ending March. December 19 they are not saying. They are saying September and June. But September 18 they are saying. ठीक है, देखते हैं. Glacier Limited was 1 month late in submitting VAT return and in paying the related VAT liability. So the first, when he defaulted on 30th September 18, the next 12 months, 4 quarters, that is 30th September 2019. So up till that it's 30th September, he has already defaulted. So now the new period starts from 12th June, say 12th June 2020. The new period starts and now he is doing the default in the second time. No, that is not they have written. Within 1 year since the default is again arises, the new period is becoming 30th June 2020. Okay. From 30th September 18 to 30th September 19. But between that the default arises on 30th June 19. So the new period is 30th June 2020. Yeah. What you were saying, I am not getting it. 30th June 2021 कहां से आ गया है? Whether he is defaulting in March quarter. The period is 12 months ना, extension. तो पहले default किया 18 में. So September 19. Within September 19 he again defaulted in June 19. So June 19 से next 12 months. So June 2020, that's all. अरे तो अभी default करेंगे तब ना, where they have written that we have defaulted. Within June 2020, if you do again default, then the period extension will come, na? Where they are saying. कहाँ? For the quarter June, Glacier 1 month late and in paying the related VAT liability, all of the company's VAT return have been submitted on time. They are saying, first of all, he defaulted in 18. So 1 year, September 19. Within September 19, again defaulted in June 19. So from June 19, 1 year, June 2020, that's all. अब उसको default करने दो. Let him do default. What is the amount of output VAT payable by Glacier Limited in respect of its sales for the quarter ended 31st March 2020? What is the amount of output VAT payable by Glacier Limited in respect of its sales for quarter ended 31st March 2020? So invoices 44,600, 35,200 भूल जाइए, balance, and then what they are asking, selection में क्या है, amount है, okay. In addition, on 1st March, Glacier issued a VAT invoice of 8,000 plus a VAT of 1,600 to VAT registered customer in respect of contract that will be completed. तो इसमें से किस पे VAT लगेगा? In the quarter, the amount which is half received, can we say? Because the service is delivered on 15th April. But since the amount is received, so that becomes the tax portion, actual tax portion. Invoice has been done in advance. When 1st March, yes, the actual tax point is invoice raised only. So it is basically 1,600 पूरा ही लग जाएगा, yes. The managing director, अब इस पे क्या VAT लगेगा? On 414 ना? On 414, the quarterly scale charge. So you can say on 44,600 minus 35,200 into 20%, then 414 into 20%, and then plus 600. What do we say? What do we say? In the last one, the first one is okay, 44,600 minus 35,200. The second one is 1,600 because invoice is raised in the quarter. The third one relating to car, they are asking for sales. Yes, because that is not the sale. If they would be asking the total VAT, then in that case, otherwise we will not include that. Yes. Yes, yes. So it is 1880 plus 1600, 3480. Yes, you are correct. Actually, that is also taxable, but they are asking for the sales. For that reason, that option is not coming at all. Otherwise, it will be giving a very odd figure. Yes, yes, sir. Calculate the amount required to complete the following sentences. Glacier Limited will include output VAT of this and input VAT of this on its VAT return for the quarter ended in respect of managing director's company car. Now they are saying this one. Basically, the input VAT they will be able to claim on 414 and output VAT will be on 720. So 720 into 20 by 120 and 414 into 20 by 120. No, 414 so we can claim input VAT now. Output VAT. Yes, yes. Output VAT is on the basis of flat charge and input VAT on the entire expenses. Yes, yes. 414 into 20 by 120 is the output VAT. And 720 into 20 by 120 will be the input VAT. Yes. Yes, yes. So 414 is 69. Okay. And 720, 1/6, 120. Yes, sir. The flat rate is applicable for output VAT and you will be able to claim input VAT fully. What surcharge penalty could Glacier Limited be charged if the company is 1 month late in paying VAT liability for March? Oh, इधर second time default कर दी. 2% or 5%? 2% or 5%? Since this is second time, so it is 5%. Na? First time during the period, then it is 2%. Second time, 5%. जून 2020 तक का पीरियड में second time. Yes. So for that reason, it is 5%. Then, what is the minimum requirement which Glacier Limited needs to meet in order to revert to a clean default surcharge period? What is the minimum requirement which Glacier Limited needs to meet in order to revert to a clean default surcharge record? 12 महीना तक सही में टाइम भरो. Submit 4 consecutive VAT return on time. Submit any 4 VAT returns. Pay 4 consecutive VAT liabilities on time. Submit 4 consecutive VAT returns on time and also pay the related VAT liability on time. Yes. It's first and third, but fully written in the last one properly. Submit 4 consecutive returns and also pay the related VAT liability. खाली submit करने से नहीं होएगा. Any 4 नहीं, all. Yes, yes. All 4 quarter we need to be clean. Glacier Limited will be required to issue a VAT invoice in certain circumstances. Complete the following sentences by matching one of the type of supply and one of the type of customers into each target area. Glacier Limited will be required to issue a VAT invoice when VAT registered customer what they are saying, type of one of the type of supply and one of the type of customers. So the type of customer is VAT registered customer. That's sure. And type of supply, standard rated, any type of supply. Standard rated, any type. Will be required to issue a VAT invoice when it's made to. If it is exempt rated, then if it is exempt rated goods you are selling to VAT registered person, then also. Yes, less than 250 भी story है. So I think it is standard rated. No invoice. Less than 250, no proper invoice. No detailed invoice, we can say. Yes. So this is part B gone. Now part C, 3 questions. One is of 10 marks, the other 2 is of 15 marks. The following scenario relates to 2 requirements. You should assume that today's date is 1st March 2019. S is currently self-employed. If she continues to trade on self-employment basis, her total income tax liability and national insurance contribution for the year 1920 will be 11,223. What is that? Her total income tax liability and both the things included. Okay. However, Sarah is considering incorporating her business on 6th April 2019. Considering incorporating her business. The forecast taxable total profits of the new limited company for the year ended 5th April 2020 will be 50,000 before taking account of any director's remuneration. Sarah will pay herself gross director remuneration 30,000, dividend 10,000. The balance of the profits will remain undrawn within the new company. ठीक है, बस स्टोरी खत्म. ठीक है. Sarah is currently if she continues to trade on a self-employed basis, her total income tax liability, national insurance for tax year 1920. Determine whether or not there will be an overall saving of tax and national insurance contribution for the year ended 5th April 2020 if Sarah incorporates her business on 6th April 2019. You are expected to calculate the income tax payable by Sarah, the class 1 NIC payable by Sarah and the new limited company and the corporation tax liability of the new limited company for the year ended 5th April 2020. The new limited company will not be entitled to the NIC annual employment allowance. You should assume that the rates of corporation tax remain unchanged, which is 19%. What they are saying, determine whether or not there will be an overall saving of tax and national insurance contributions for the year if Sarah incorporates her business. So if she remain employed, then to they have calculated the tax. But if she starts business, then what will be the tax? We are saying that if the director remuneration from business income deducted, then director remuneration will be taxable in his own hands. The dividend will be taxable in his own hands. Then what is the income of the business? 50 minus 30, 20,000 will be taxable. So trading income 20, 30,000 salary income, 10,000 dividend income. Because they said that the forecast taxable total profits of new limited company 50,000 before a director remuneration. So business income is 20,000. So 20,000 business income, $30,000 salary income, 10,000 dividend income. So what is the total income? But they are saying that the Sarah income tax for Sarah, not for its corporate. So her income is 30,000 and 10,000, 40,000. 30,000 director remuneration and 10,000 dividend income. Out of that, she will be able to claim deduction of 12,500 personal allowance. So 40 minus 12,500, 27,500 will be the taxable income. What will be the tax on 27,500? What will be the tax on 27,500? Out of 27,500, 10,000 is dividend income. Out of 27,500, it is not company. Individual slab, forgetting Srishti. Out of 27,500, 10,000 is dividend income. Balance 17,500 is normal income. So in case of dividend income, 2,000 exempt. So 17,500 at the rate of 20%. And on balance 8,000 at the rate of 7.5% because we are in the lowest slab within 37,500. The nil rate 2,000 is applicable for dividend always. So 17,500 into 20% and what I should say 2,000 zero and 8,000 at the rate of 7.5%. So the total is coming 4,100. What will be overall saving of tax and the national insurance contribution for the year this if Sarah incorporates her business on 6th April 2019. So this is going to be her income. Now what is his national insurance liability? What will be her national insurance liability? As an employee, she is getting 30,000, which is less than 50,000. So 30 minus 8632 on the balance at the rate of 9%. As an employee. And as an employer also she need to pay. As an employer also she need to pay. As an employee 12%. Yes, sorry. As an employee 12%. As an employer also she need to pay because the company belongs to him only. Not 9%. It is an employee case. No, it's not a business story. She will not get 3K exemptions. So she need to pay as an employer also 30,000 minus 8632. But the percentages are different. 1 second. Yes, I think. Class 1 NIC. Class 1 NIC. Employee 12%, employer 13.8%. And she is not getting exemption of 3,000 that they have written. Why she is not getting 3,000 exemption? Anybody remember? Samsuddin must be remembered. It was a case that it should be for all the employees, not for a particular employee. She is the only employee for that reason. So as an employee, she will pay on 30,000 minus 863 to 12%. And as an employer, she will pay 30,000 minus 863 to 13.8%. So what is the total figure coming? Considering all the tax, 4100 plus whatever NIC, what is the total figure is coming? Determine whether or not there will be an overall saving. So the total amount is 4100 plus yes, total amount is 4100 plus the NIC, both the NIC on the same amount 12% also, on the same amount 13.8% also. 13407. But she was paying as an employee 11 to 23 only. Kahani khatam. What you are saying, 3800 is what? From where you are getting 3800? Samsuddin. No, no. That I said, the question is asking that Sarah, that means we don't need to add corporation tax. We don't need to add corporation tax. Lenge. I am thinking that they are not considering. Since you are thinking that the business belongs to Sarah only, for that reason you are thinking. Are you saying this? Then in that case, there is no saving. The income tax is 4100. Yes, maybe. The income tax is 4100 to NIC and then the corporation tax, which is 20,000 into 19%, 3800. So the total is 13407, whereas it was 11 to 23. Okay, we will check. Now, इसमें calculation करना क्या है? I'm not writing. It's just that salary income 30,000, dividend income 10,000. So total 40,000. Personal allowance 12,500. Taxable 27,500. Tax which is on 17,500 into 20% plus 2,000 into 0 plus 8,000 into 7.5%, which will be coming 4,100. आपको थोड़ा और अच्छा करना है, ऐसा कर दीजिए इनको स्लाइटली, देन NIC which is 30 minus 8632, 30,000 minus 8632 into 12% plus 13.8%. Whatever the figure will be coming, and corporation tax which is 30,000 into 19%. We will just write later ना, क्यों इतना कॉलम बनाएंगे, पहले सारा कैलकुलेट कर लेते हैं। तो टोटल टैक्स आ गया, टोटल टैक्स अर्लियर, बैलेंस, सेविंग हो गया। Why the columns and all that? Story finish. जितना ज्यादा कॉलम फॉलम बनाएंगे टाइम लगेगा ना, या काम क्या है कॉलम का। You are calculating as per the current status. What is the total tax? NIC, total tax, corporate tax, or earlier it is 11,223. So what is the difference? Whether there is a saving positive figure, if there is no saving negative figure. That's all. वही तो करना है। You can make different presentation because presentation everybody has his own style. But I am thinking that कि यहाँ column फॉलम का जरूरत नहीं। It's just that in one or two columns you are writing your data, you are calculating tax. The earlier tax you deduct, the balance will become the saving or the extra payment. Check करेंगे, ठीक है, no issue. Advise Sarah as to why her proposed basis of extracting profits from the new limited company is not optimum for tax purpose. Obviously, because she is required to pay NIC double time. As an employee also, as an employer also. That's not good. And just how the mix of director's remuneration and dividend could therefore be improved. Mix of director remuneration and dividend. How she can improve? It's only 2 marks. For first part, 1 line. That is NIC, 1 line. I'm not writing the full line. For the second part, suggest how the mix of director remuneration and dividend can be distributed. What can be done for that? So what is 1 line you want to add for that? When I was doing the question, I was thinking that the 20,000 corporate income is taxable. And then out of 20, dividend is again taxable. So why not she is giving entire as a salary? But then in that case, the NIC will increase. Adjust employment income to around 8,000. Means what? I am not getting. Adjusting employment income to around 8,000. What is this 8,000? $8,632 you were saying. So that the NIC will not be payable. Both the NIC will be 0. But then what will happen to dividend income? Oh, वो तो वैसे भी लग रहा है, ठीक है. Yes, you are correct, Naman. If the NIC we want to reduce, NIC cost is very high. It is 5-6,000. So if the salary is not paid 30,000, and if the salary is paid, I will say that within 8632, then in that case both the NIC gone. Yes, But then you understand, Samsuddin, if the salary is paid, the salary is expense for the corporate, but the salary is taxable for the employee. Ultimately, tax बच रहा नहीं है. 19%, 20%, 1% difference is there. But the salary you can claim as an expenditure and then salary is personally taxable. Saraf Academy mein, if I will pay salary, it is not taxable in Saraf Academy, taxable for me. Ultimately, government is not leaving that tax. So if I am not taking salary, my income tax will be less, company tax will be more. And even that 20 to 19 also, because my tax is 20% and the company tax rate is 19 only, 1% saving. So Naman is saying correct. That is salary up till 8632 to save NIC. NIC सेव करने के लिए करना होगा जिससे कि टैक्स अपने आप कम हो जाएगा ऑटोमेटिकली. The 2 marks question, 1 mark, 1 line you need to write. Okay. If you want the write up exactly what is the question. As per the question, why the proposed basis of extracting profits from new company is not optimum for the tax purpose? As the NIC is payable double as an employee and as an employer, both. That's all. English, whatever you want to way you write. Normal hai. There is nothing can be said that I have to write the same English. Naman, Samsudin, everybody has his own style of writing. So whenever we are studying anything, not only taxation, don't focus on any English language. हर आदमी का अपना स्टाइल होता है इंग्लिश लिखने का. Now this is 13 marks question. This is basically second last in the paper. क्या हो रहा है यार? The scenario relates to 2 requirements. On 6th April 2019, Simon commenced employment with E Limited on 1st January 2020. He commenced in partnership with Art preparing accounts to 30th April. On 6th April 2019, Simon commenced employment with E Limited on 1st January 2020. Employment income निकालना है, I think. He commenced in partnership with Art preparing accounts to 30th April. Simon commenced employment with E Limited on 1st January 2020. That was 6th April 2019. Then 1st January he commenced in partnership with Art. Okay. So there may be some business income also. The following information is available for year 1920. During the year 1920, Simon paid a gross annual salary 23,700. So this is salary income. Throughout the tax year 1920, E Limited provided Simon with living accommodation. The company had purchased the property in 2007, 6 years, more than 6 years, for 89,000 and it was valued at 143 on 6th April. So we are concerned with 143. The annual value 4,600 plus whatever the percentage. The property was furnished during March and a cost of 9,400. The living accommodation is not job related. So what was relating to the property? The annual rent plus beyond 75,000, I don't remember exactly. Whatever is the value beyond 75,000, there is a percentage to be added for living accommodation calculation. 2.5%. So basically 143 minus 75,000 balance 2.5%. And relating to 9,400, 10%, I think. 20%. Don't remember these percentages. Maybe in the tax slab it is written, we will check. On 1st December 2019, Eco Limited provided CIMA with an interest-free loan 84,000, which is greater than 10,000. What is the percentage? 2.5%, I think. Okay, we will check. All these percentages are written. The partnership tax adjusted trading profit for the 4 months ended 29,700. This figure is before taking account of capital allowances. So depreciation we need to calculate. The only item of plant and machinery owned by the partnership is a motor car which cost 18,750. On February, the motor car has a C02 emission of 125. So it will be main pool. It is used by art and 40% of the mileage is for private journey. It is used by art and 40% of the mileage is for private journey. So we will be getting only 60% depreciation. Profits are shared 40%. CIMA, so we will be getting 40%. First of all, we calculate income of partnership, 40% will be our. This is after paying annual salary of 6,000 to art. That will be taxable in the hands of art only. But CIMA owns a freehold house which is let out, furnished. CIMA owns a furnished house which is let out. So property income. The property was let out through the year 1920 at a monthly rent of 660. During the tax year 1920, CIMA paid council tax of 1320 in respect of property. He has replaced the property's washing machine during March. The old machine was sold for 70, being replaced by a washer dryer costing 970. The old machine was sold for 70, being replaced by a washer dryer, but that is new development. The cost of a similar washing machine would have been 730. Relating to this, I forget the provisions. Samsuddin, dhyan hai? In the property income chapter, I don't remember, sorry bhai. Say Samsuddin, what we did. Because in property income, there is no concept of capital or revenue expenditure. It's all the replacement expenditures are allowed. So 730 minus 70, balance is allowed. And the 970 is not applicable because that is further improvement. No. So the rent 660 into 12 minus 730 minus 70 and then minus 1320. That's the property income. Maybe. So property income need to be calculated. Business income after capital allowance need to be calculated. Confused in the sense, ध्यान नहीं है यार, मेरे को भी नहीं ध्यान है. Confusion का कोई बात नहीं है. Relating to property income, as per my knowledge, what we studied that if we are doing a replacement, then the replacement asset will be treated as a revenue expenditure. Property income में the distinction between revenue and capital expenditure is not there. So when replacement 70 to 730. But आप read करने के बजाय recording क्यों नहीं करते हैं? ये तो गड़बड़ है. Why you are reading? Because it is not written properly. When you do the recording, then only you will understand. I always find that the property income portion relating to furnished accommodation not written properly in the book. ना लाइव क्लास करेंगे ना रिकॉर्डिंग करेंगे. अगर केवल मटेरियल से पढ़ना है, then why you are joining the classes? Why to waste your money? तो कहां प्रॉब्लम है बोलिए. नहीं, this is bad here. When you do recording and you understand at that time and you find that something is a problem, then you need to make your notes so that later on whenever you do, you will be able to read from your notes. Daunting तो है, but ये पास करना easy है, believe करिए. When you give exam for PM, even though you have not given Srishti this text exam, when you give the text exam, you will say automatically in the class only, सर आप ठीक बोल रहे थे, PM difficult था. मेरे को पता है यार, प्रोविजंस है, लेकिन मैं मान लीजिए प्रोविजंस को एक दिन पढ़ के आप लोग को पढ़ाता हूं, लेकिन यू आर तो डेली स्टडिंग द प्रोविजंस ना, एवरी डे. सम प्रोविजंस यू विल फॉरगेट वेदर यू स्टडी 10 टाइम्स, उसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते. PM was difficult, logical, but still even though a student is studying so much, then also they can fail in PM. But in taxation, if the student is studying, they cannot fail. That's the difference. In FM, FR, even after study, student can fail. But in taxation, they will not fail. That way. For that reason, I say that ki suppose this batch is getting over. Now, after 1 month, when somebody will be saying, sir, ye kya tha? Nahi yaad hai, sir. For taxation, the doubts clearance cannot be possible later. Because how I will remember? I am also human being. But if you ask any other subject other than taxation, I will clear. ठीक है. So there are 3 types of income. Acha, relating to car. Naman, can you say what will be the capital allowance figure? Relating to car, what will be the capital allowance figure? Relating to car, what is the capital allowance figure? Because that's the only calculation in the business income part. What is the rate in the main pool? Do we not do the adjustments for the number of months for which we use the assets? Naman. 18%, but don't we need to use the number of months calculation? Because we acquired on 1st February. Why this is a special rate pool? The special rate pool was, what is the limit for a special rate pool? 150 or 125? 110. अच्छा, ठीक है. So 125 means special rate pool. I also don't remember this. मेरे को भी नहीं ध्यान है. So if it is special rate pool, then to we need to do the calculation at the rate of 6%. And that too also from February na. It's not that the asset is used for the entire business, for the entire period. Business तो हमने चालू किया है अभी. So the allowance is adjusted period wise na. So what will be the allowance? पूरा साल का मिलेगा. Since special rate pool वाला है. Main pool there is a provision. Or what I should say. Because the amount which is said as 10 lakh, that is period wise adjusted. 18% each period wise adjusted. Partnership commenced on 1st January. Partnership commenced on 1st January. So we will be getting period wise adjustment. Now that is I am saying. So we will be getting depreciation, capital allowance, which we say. We acquired the assets on 1st February. According to me, मेरे को तो ध्यान आ रहा है कि special pool में भी it was also February to February, March 2 months. But then Samsuddin is saying 4 months. No, 3 months. Samsuddin is saying 3 months. Sorry, 4 months. Samsuddin is saying 4 months. And we are saying February, March, April. 3 months. मेरे ख्याल से 3 months होना चाहिए. Because as far as I remember that 18% is story, 6% is story. Date of acquisition not important. We'll check. So we will calculate depreciation. We deduct from 29,700. Anything we need to deduct further? Anything we need to deduct further from 29,700? The salary income payable to ART 6,000 into 4 by 12. एक बार बिजनेस इनकम तो निकालना होगा ना. So business income will be calculated after deducting whatever payable to partners. So 6,000 into 4 by 12, 1/3, 2,000 gone. So 29,700 minus the capital allowance. They have written profits are shared 40% to CIMA and 60% to ART. This is after paying an annual salary of 6,000 to ART. So for partnership, which is business income, we say that after deducting salary, what is the income? The salary is 6,000 into 4 by 12, 4 months salary is 2,000. So 29,700 minus 2,000 minus whatever is the capital allowance, that into 40% will be Siemens portion. If the Siemens would be getting salary, then that is also the Siemens income. But since Siemens is not getting any salary, he is getting the share of profit. So वो share of profit केवल लेना है. Srishti, are you getting? You are asking what is 6,000. The question is saying in the partnership, the last line, 6,000 to ART. One of the partner is getting salary, that will be deducted from business income. So what is the figure coming? $29,700 minus 225 minus 2,000 into 40%, 10,990. $29,700 is our income minus the salary 2,000 minus capital allowance. But in case of car, don't we do this adjustment of 40% each for private journey? In case of car, don't we do the adjustment of 40% for private journey? After 40% only. ठीक है? So 29,700 minus 225 minus, you have calculated 225 from January to April, 4 months. Okay. ठीक है, check करते हैं, no issue. In case of property income, it is 660 into 12 minus 730 minus 770 difference minus 1320. That is property income. How much property income will be coming? Can anybody say? 660 into 12 minus the 730 minus 70, 660 and minus 1320. How much? 7920 minus 1320 minus 660, 5940. That is property income. So property income, business income. Now the salary income. So salary is 23,700. Then what is the residential accommodation value? Residential accommodation will be annual rent 4,600 and 143 minus 75,000 into 2.5%, and relating to this asset 9,400 into 20%. 4,600 annual rent. Then 1,43,000 since more than 6 years, 143 minus 75,000 into 2.5%. And for the assets 9,400 into 20%. So whatever the figure will be coming. For interest-free loan, what is the taxable amount? 84,000 into 2.5%. Na? All these we can check here. The rates must be given. Don't worry. Special rate pool 6%. For special rate pool C02, you are correct. Beyond 110, it is in the special rate pool, motor car written here only. So there is no confusion. Annual investment allowance, वो तो हमें पता है. Cash basis accounting, capital on income tax relief. The employment income things are not written here. They will not give. Employment income percentages are not given here. That will not be given in the exam hall. When he took loan on 1st December, sorry, I was thinking that why you were doing into 4 months. So 84,000 into 2.5%, that is only for 4 months it is taxable, so 4 by 12, yes. So the salary income will be 23,700 plus the free residential accommodation plus the interest-free loan. The partnership income, whatever portion 40% will be coming after capital allowance. The property income, all three we need to add. ठीक है, देखते हैं अब क्वेश्चन क्या है. Siemens taxable income, that they are asking. Yes, this is first year. The partnership year is first year. Basis. For the person, those who are relevant, when I meant to say for the partner, Simon and Art, for them we need to consider that this is the first year of business. But then this is the first year, second year आएगा तब होएगा ना यार. यहाँ कुछ दिमाग नहीं लगाना मेरे ख्याल से. Because in the first year it's only started in January. So whatever in the first year, whatever is there is actual taxable. So you can say that we calculated how much you said. Yes, yes, पूरा नहीं होएगा. How much you calculated? Only for 3 months it will be taxable. Whatever you calculated 10,000 something, if it is correct figure into 3 by 4. First year it's actual taxable. Yes. 10,990 is 30th April, but it will be taxable in the first year on actual basis, which is 3 months income only. January, February, March. So if 10,990 is correct, because आप जो बोल रहे हैं कि डेप्रिसिएशन 4 महीना का लेंगे, मेरे को फीलिंग नहीं आ रहा है, बात ये, सॉरी, we will check. Maybe you are correct, I'm not questioning. I'm not writing this. All are to be written in one, I mean to say one column only. Not that 20 columns are required. The columns will be required if the question is set off, different years are given. If the question is inheritance tax, different years are given. Capital allowance, 3-4 तरह का data है तब. Otherwise single column only. One column data, another column figure, amounts. State 2 advantages of partnership of choosing 30th April as its accounting date. Income note कर लिए. Check करने में easy होएगा. Or you are saying you have written, not required. इतना ध्यान रहेगा अभी यार. We will be able to understand by looking at the solution. Don't worry. 2 advantages of partnership of choosing 30th April as its accounting year. What is the benefit? What are the 2 benefits if we choose for partnership as accounting year 30th April only? What are the 2 advantages we can see? I am also not getting what we should be writing exactly. 5 odd days. That's not so important. You are saying 5th April. Because in partnership, we are concerned in business with the business accounting year. But why the accounting year we should be keeping April? What is the benefit? Can we say that the tax need to be paid later? If we are not a big corporate, then the tax payment we are getting time, like in capital gain also. If you show the income of capital gain in April, then you are getting more time to pay the taxes. मेरे ख्याल से एक point should be tax payment. That you are getting time to pay the tax because income tax year ending is what? 5th April. And your year ending is 30th April. So when your year ending is 30th April, it will be counted that you will be paying tax later. But I need to check this. Paying tax later. Like this, we will not be getting marks. If you don't make the sentences, marks will be deducted. I am just saying कि tax हम लोग को बाद में देना पड़ेगा. And I can see that, like in India, why we are keeping income tax as March year ending? Why we keep the income tax at March year ending? Why? I have income tax year for Saraf Academy March year ending only. Why it is near to March, April? Why? Because the budget which is released, that is applicable for next full year. So if suppose the new financial year in UK is coming, then the new financial year has new laws. So those laws you can apply properly in your entire income. Haphazard way, you don't have to do planning. Better planning. Can I say better planning? And I will say less hassle. Why less hassle? Because your mota moti income tax year and accounting year is same. You don't have to do double time accounts preparation and all that. They are asking two only. I am just saying कि कुछ तो लिखना पड़ेगा ना. 2 marks we cannot leave. Somebody will say that, sir, I could not understand, I didn't write. Why? Maybe you, by writing wrong, you are getting 0 only. But try to write the answer. लिखना होएगा. You can't leave anything in exam. So this is the third one. That is, you can see the last question of this paper. The following scenario relates to two requirements. You are a trainee accountant and your manager has asked you to correct a corporation tax computation which has been prepared by the managing director of N Limited. The corporation tax computation is for the year ended 31st March 2020 and contains a significant number of errors. The corporation tax computation is for the year ended 31st March 2020 and contains a significant number of years. The corporation tax computation for the and contains a significant number of errors. Sorry, years, errors. I was thinking what? Corporation tax computation for March 2020 trading profit, loans interest received, corporation tax. ठीक है? Trading profit, profit before taxation, depreciation, donation to political parties, qualifying charitable donations, accountancy, legal fees in connection with the issue of loan notes. The loan was issued to finance the company's trading activities, entertaining suppliers, entertaining employees. It's a very easy question actually. Gift to customers, pens costing 40 each and displaying NAB's limited name. Gift to customers, food charges costing 45 each and displaying NAB's limited name. Capital allowance, trading profits. They have taken that trading profit only. पूरा बोलता उसको टैक्स पढ़ा ही नहीं है वो. Loan interest received. Loan interest receivable accrued on 1st April, 31st March. So loan interest received. उसने received लिखा, whereas accrual basis the income is calculated. Capital allowance, written down value brought forward, main pool, special pool, additions, machinery, motor car 1, motor car 2, annual investment allowance, disposal proceeds, balancing allowance, written down allowance WDA 18%. Why he is doing 50%? Don't know. WDB carried forward. Total allowance. Motor car 1 has a C02 emission rate of 90. That means main pool only. Motor car 2 has an emission of 125, special rate pool. This motor car is used by the sales manager and 50% of the mileage is for the private journey. So 50% for that reason they have done. But that is in the special rate pool where he has included. He has not included that. What he is doing? Motor car 1 is 90. Motor car 2 is special rate pool that the motor car is used by the sales manager. उसपे भी depreciation गलत निकाला है उसने, फिर 18% लिया है. All of the items included in the special rate pool at 1st April were sold for 9,300 during the year ended. The original cost of these items was 16,200. ठीक है, उससे तो मतलब नहीं. In companies we need not provide for private use. Yes, because in company If the car is used by director, it is said as for the business purpose only. You are 100% correct. But he will be getting 6%. Now, why he is calculating 18%? That's the question. So, जो भी कार का वैल्यू उस पे 6% डेप्रिसिएशन ही विल बी क्लियरिंग. तो 6% के बेसिस पे यहां पर ये सब नहीं आएगा. बैलेंसिंग अलाउंस एंड ऑल दैट विल नॉट अराइज because there is no loss in special pool. So I can say that with this 12,000, 13,600, okay, this is okay. 13,800, 13,800 he is claiming this, what I should say, कार के ऊपर मिलता ही नहीं है. 42,300 he will be getting. 13,800 will be added in the pool. Then he will be getting 18% depreciation. Then 14,000 added in the pool. Then 9,300 sale, balance pay 6%. Then whatever the three figures will be coming. Naman, are you getting? On car we don't get AIA. So he has claimed 13,800 पे वो नहीं मिलेगा. 42,300 क्या AIA? Then 13,800 plus 12,400 at the rate of 18%. 14,000 will be added to 13,600 minus 9,300. Balance at the rate of 6%. All three figures will be treated as correct capital allowance. इसके लिए कैसे प्रेजेंटेशन करना है? इट्स योर इंटेंशन भाई. आपको इसी को करना है, आपको दूसरा करना है, आपके ऊपर है. एक मजा और लीजिए. नहीं होएगा ऐसे, सॉरी. That shortcut is not possible. I can paste theories and all that. क्या हो रहा है यार? So what I am saying that try paste special. अच्छा, शायद कुछ है स्पेशल में. यू आर करेक्ट कि टू सेव टाइम, सपोज this one. Edit option, sir. Yes, I am thinking that it was there somewhere. Formulas, values. Suppose I will select all and then it is written in this here that in the exam instructions it is written that how can we do this. ठीक है, मैं एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं कर रहा हूं अभी यार. ठीक है, but it is written, you are correct. With the test special function we can do that. But ये क्यों नहीं आ रहा है यार? It is not taking. If I will select these two only, not taking. Why it is not taking? नहीं होना चाहिए. हो सकता है नहीं हो रहा है, होना चाहिए, बिकॉज द क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि वट एवर द फंक्शंस आर देयर, एक बार हम लोग को रीड जरूर कर लेना चाहिए. ठीक है, नॉट अ प्रॉब्लम. आई मीन टू से द लास्ट वन इज कैपिटल अलाउंस. देन लोन इंटरेस्ट के ऊपर ही हैज कैलकुलेटेड लोन इंटरेस्ट रिसीव्ड. बट इफ द लोन इंटरेस्ट रिसीवेबल accrued, we need to record the accrual basis. Received is 32,100 and we received last year 10,600 gone plus 11,300. So 32,800 should be the interest income. But he has recorded what? That income need to be changed and the trading income. In trading income, what are the things? We start with this profit, which is 3,72,900. Then depreciation we need to add. Capital allowance we need to deduct. Donation to political party add. Qualifying charitable donation we will add. Later on we will deduct in calculating taxable income. But in business it is not treated as an expense. Accountancy we will write 0. They have said that you don't have to write any note. You just write for every figure 0 or figure. So accountancy 0. Legal fees in connection with the issue of loan notes. The loan was used for company's trading activity 0. Entertaining suppliers 3,600 we need to add. Entertaining employees, for they have given what is the entertainment to employees. If it is food, not allowed, otherwise allowed. Gift to customers. Pens costing 40 each and displaying knives limited name allowed. Up till 50 now. 50, yes. So that is 0. Gift to customers. Food costing 45 each and displaying knives name. So we need to add back because it is food. Capital allowance, whatever we will calculate correctly. Then whatever the trading profit will come. So whatever the trading profit correctly will come, loan interest will come, minus the qualifying charitable donations, balance will be taxable at the rate of 19%. Prepare a revised version of AN's corporation income tax for the year ended this. We should start 274. Why? 1 second. We should start 274 only. Yes, you are correct. From 274, we will add back depreciation and all that. Whatever he has added is correct. Whatever he has added should not be added, should not be deducted, added. And then we get the correct income. You are correct. But I am thinking that the capital allowance, why he has added? He is mad actually. Okay, not an issue. Prepare your calculations should commence with profit before taxation figure, written only, and you should indicate by use of 0 any items in the computation of trading profit which they have said in many times in the Kaplan and in the books. You don't have to give any note. Maybe in the answer they have given note for tutorial. In exam, a student has to not to give any note. The managing director of N Limited understand that the company will have to file its self-assessment corporation tax return online, and then the supporting accounts and tax computation will have to be filed using the extensible business reporting language. The managing director is concerned about how the company would be able to produce documents in this format. Explain the options available to N regarding the production of accounts and tax computation. Normally on the income tax website, the data can be uploaded in the XBRL format. If you want to use your own personal software, that's other thing. Like I said, in India, the chartered accountants in India are using their own personal software for uploading the data on the income tax website. But on the income tax website also the details are there and we can match with the details and we can input our data. But if on the income tax website we need to input the data, then in that case, we need to maintain our records as per the income tax website in the XBRL format. Then only it will be taking, otherwise not. So you can say that the personal software in India helps us to maintain the data in XBRL format, and then that is uploaded on the income tax website in a proper way. That need to be written. That is 3 marks. What we should be writing? The company can maintain records in XBRL format on the basis of software on HMRC website. They can record the data on their own personal software. Actually, for smaller companies, the software which is there on the HMR site is used. Bigger companies, so many Jamelas are there, branches and all that, they generally maintain their own IT. They use their own IT. And I will say use the taxonomy which is in HMRC website. If we will put same name, then in that case confusion will not arise while filling up the data. If I am writing my own name, now you understand that these things can be done in the practical life, either with practice. But if you have started filing return first time for the corporates and all that self-return, then you need to open the book regularly. That what is the taxonomy they are using, you need to use that only. But with the practice, automatically it becomes a habit. Like suppose you were saying that, sir, I forgot, so many things are there, obviously. But when you read the same thing again and again, you will not forget. Again, the English language written by me, my Srishti, by Naman, by anybody, by institute will be different. Ultimately, we need to write what we are understanding. The institute is never saying that the language and presentation of the student need to be same. Because it can never be same. Even though you study 500 times. Suppose I will say that same notes I have read in Kaplan 20 times. Why we are remembering the language? Why? That is wrong area we are doing. That way if we do study, the problem will always be there. Now I am going to next. The flag questions I am not opening. Why this is incomplete? Oh, actually, we have not written the typed the answers. For that reason, it is showing incomplete. We have just discussed. Okay. Now, end exam I have done. They are asking, do you want to end the exam? Yes. Still they are asking. Because after ending this, I will not be able to go back. I said yes. Yes is gone. Now they are saying that in response to you are now available for marking and review. So I am doing exit. We can reset this exam at any time. You can access additional learning support. वहां हमको जाना नहीं है. Why the exit is here? After I am doing exit, I need to go into the mark tab. Under mark tab, self marking. Under self marking, I am concerned with taxation 1. The taxation 1. Under taxation 1, the specimen self mark. Once I will click the specimen self mark. Now they are giving me on the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all questions. One number. If I want to check the answer, click the answer. In this case, the answer is already written here, 9%, 2%. I think we did that only. Why it is coming this? Not a problem. Then comes second number. Second number is reporting under the money laundering. We said this only. Where the confusion were there? This was 8200. There is no confusion. The fourth one was 135. We said 135 only because that is the amount. 4 installments. This was slightly a confusion was there. That the tax will be 19% divided by 4 installment. Then this is 975. We said 6 months. In this also there was some confusion. 9 months or 6 months. Then 4500. This was the case 5 by 3 and actual income. Then 475, 1,18,750. What was this? That was IHT. Then not exempt, not exempt, not exempt, exempt. Good. There is no problem. Then 7164 was also there because making it gross and then 12% flat rate VAT. Then motor car and that was very, very silly question. Here you can check, but since they are showing the calculation here, so nothing is coming here. Then 12,020 minus 8, which is Srishti said. Now here it is 30th. Ming is in business. She must keep both her business and non-business records until 26. Records must be retained until 5 years after the 31st January following the tax year where the tax in business. Both are 6 years. Samsuddin, not January 22. Because the ghapla need to be done, need to be checked. Then 15 minus 4362. 90 days. Maybe by mistake it was clicked 120. For that reason it is showing. Then 43,000. 2,15,000 into 20%. Yes. Then employer's relief would have been available and cash relief was this. This was correct also. Then 1,14,800. Click the answers. 1,14,800. First of all, the gain is 344, 2/3 exempt, so 1/3. Then 7,110. 12,028% on the balance 10%. That is the saving of tax if half of the income transferred to wife. CGT liability would have been paid later. If we sell the assets in the April, then the CGT liability we will be paying late. 656. 374 plus 422 minus 160 mortgage. IHT question. Then personal loan and funeral cost. Then this 338 is what? The minus 325, 220 gone. From 950 that is adjusted 40%. IST question, the second one. Part B, second one. Then what is this? 2,20,000 into 40%. So that's normal. If the 7 years earlier he would have given that gift. The gift must be habitual, optional. That we said this only. Then this was the VAT question. That is 3,480. Because that was not considering the input output of that period. 69,120. So it is 69,120 only. Then 5% because the default is in second quarter. Glacier was late in submitting VAT return and paying the related VAT liability for 2 previous quarters. The late payment of the quarter ended 31st March will result in a surcharge of 5% of VAT for that period. That this is the second default during the surcharge period. During the period, the default is in second time. Then submit your VAT return, that we said. Then this is what? When I standard rated, there was a confusion. Standard rated, which 60 said less than 250, no standard invoice is required. Now 31 number. Click the answer. I have clicked the answer. The 3 big question, 10 marks, 15 marks, 15 marks. Increasing the length, 1 second. Why it is not coming here? So they have said salary income 30,000, dividend income 10,000 total, minus personal allowance 12,500, 27,500. On that, the tax is calculated at the rate of 17 money 4100 we said. Then the national insurance contribution, which is employees own and employer 12 and 13.8%. You see that even though you are doing wrong, suppose I am writing director remuneration 30,000, half marks I will be getting. Dividend income 10,000, half marks I am getting. Personal allowance 12,500, half marks I am getting. Taxable income 27,500, there is no marks. Then the calculation of tax liability correctly is half marks. If you are writing in the bracket 17,500 into 20%, that is also half marks. So up till now, so everybody will get the marks. Half. 3 marks. Then NIC calculation 2 marks, 5 marks. Then the working note 3. That is trading profit 50, director remuneration 30, employers class, we have not deducted this 2949. So half marks trading profit we would get, half marks director remuneration we would get, but employers class we have not deducted, half marks gone. So the total taxable profit is this. The corporation tax is 19% on this. We calculated this one wrong. So half 1 marks gone on this, because we forget to deduct the employer's class 1 NIC. So that half marks, the calculation half marks tax gone. So the total tax liability half marks, our figure was wrong because of that. Our figure was 13,000 something, it is 12,853. So the saving is not coming. Actually 2 marks we will lose in total. Half. Out of 8 marks we would be getting 6 marks only, because of one mistake. And then relating to 2 marks, this is not given here. The total tax of all the 4 things, what is existing? So it is actually, there is no saving, the saving and that figure we are. All these half and the last one half. So 2 marks we will be getting less. 32 number theory, which is 2 marks. The relative high tax of Sarah incorporating her business arises because her salary attracting both employer and employee NIC. I said employer and employee NIC only. The language is different. That is 1 mark. The second one, restricting the salary to 8,000. Naman was correct. Taking a corresponding higher amount of dividend would. So Naman would be getting 2 marks. 1, 1, 2. Don't focus on language. Language is English language. Everybody has his own style of writing the English. Now this is the second one, in which the salary income, the beneficial loan, the living accommodation, additional benefit, furniture, these all are correct. I will say half marks, 1 mark, half marks, 1 mark, trading profit 8220. I don't think so we got this. We got this only. We will check. And property income 5940 we got. 12,500 gone. Okay. Living accommodation we calculated 1 mark on writing 143 because it's market value. 75, 1 mark, 1.5 marks we got. The additional benefit is this. So 2 marks on living accommodation calculation. Tutorial note, not to be written in exam. The property was purchased more than 6 months, so market value need to be taken. We already know. Trading profit. 29,700 is income. Capital allowance is 300. 18,750 into 8%. Why 8%? Why it should be 6%, na? But they are calculating for 4 months, Samsuddin. 8% लास्ट ईयर था क्या? मेरे को याद नहीं है सर. आई डोंट रिमेंबर. मे बी होएगा, बट वी नीड टू कैलकुलेट 18,750 into 6% into 4 by 12 into 60%. So you were correct. Me and Srishti was wrong. Salary paid 2 में 4 महीने का. So this is 10,960. Siemens trading income 10,960 into 3 by 4. वो हम लोग किए थे 3 by 4. So everything ours was correct because it is 6% only. Maybe last year it was 8%. Siemens assessment for 1920 each for the period to 5th April. This is tutorial note, not to be written in exam. The partnership motor car C02 emission over 110 per kilogram therefore qualifies for written down allowance at the rate of 8%. So 8% is last year provision, but this is 6%. So we have done correct this one. Samsuddin, fantastic. इसमें सब करेक्ट कर दिया शमसुद्दीन ने पूरा. बट कोई गड़बड़ी था नहीं यहां. इट्स ऑल जस्ट टू रिमेंबर द प्रोविजंस. देन द थ्योरी of 2 marks in this. The interval between earning profits and paying related tax liability will be 11 months longer. I said we will be required to pay tax later. So 1 mark मेरे को मिल जाएगा. It will be possible to calculate taxable profit well in advance of the year, making it easier to incorporate tax planning. वो भी हम लोग बोले थे. तो 2 नंबर हम लोग को मिल जाएगा इधर भी. Don't focus on language. You are actually writing whatever they are saying. कि tax planning we will be able to do better. Then corporation tax computation for the year ended, the last one. So loan interest 32,800 we said 1 marks. Qualifying charitable we said 1.5 marks. बस हम लोग को देखना है कि ये बिजनेस इनकम 274 डेप्रिसिएशन एडेड 400 एडेड क्वालिफाइंग एडेड अकाउंटेंसी नथिंग लीगल फीस नथिंग एंटरटेनमेंट एडेड entertainment to employees nothing gift to pens nothing gift to customers food added and capital allowance 41 we need to check. तो ये सब में half marks half marks half marks half marks. Maybe you were wrong, but in part C part marking is there. You need to focus on marking guidelines. It's not that if you are doing wrong you will be getting 0 like objective type question. Whatever your portions are correct you will be getting marks. Fail होने के लिए दम चाहिए. The only tutorial note, the only exception to net non-deductibility of inter is when this gift to customers are allowable. पता ही है ये सब. Now capital allowance. Machinery 100%, मोटर कार को जोड़ दिया 18% और इधर में 6%. अब इनको याद आ गया 6% स्पेशल रेट वाला. पहले क्यों नहीं याद आया यार? ठीक है, not a problem. So we are saying the same thing only. Everything was correct. We will be getting here full marks. Believe me. Tutorial note again. Motor car C02 110 के बीच में, motor car greater than 110 6%. सब ठीक है. So there was nothing wrong in this question. And the last theory, XBRL related. If N Limited has straightforward accounts, it could use the software provided on HMRC website, automatically produces accounts and tax computation. Alternatively, other software automatically produces XBRL. A tagging service could be used to apply the appropriate tags to the accounts, or NAB Limited could use software to tag documents. लिखा मैंने वैसा ही था, हो सकता है मेरे को 3 नहीं 2 देगा, कोई बात नहीं है. So while checking, focus on marking also. Don't focus on English language for any theoretical question. English is a funny language. Who said that ki 1000 student Every student will write a different English. हम लोग whenever we check theory question, we don't focus on English. Whenever we are studying anything, reading any thing from material, we don't have to focus on English language the way they are writing. We need to just understand our concept. We cannot remember exactly anybody is writing. So क्या लग रहा है, कैसा लगा? What's the feeling we are getting? The feeling is only one, that if something you are forgetting, you need to revise that. That's the only feeling. But when you do FM, PM, FR, रिवाइजिंग करने से भी नहीं होएगा अगर आपने कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप ही नहीं किया, होएगा ही नहीं. दैट्स द डिफरेंस. एंड व्हाट डू यू थिंक, in one term how many papers exam we should be giving? 2 exam, 3 exam, 1 exam, what in every quarter? I always say nobody will hear me. स्टूडेंट कल ज्वाइन किया, सर मैं 3 तो दूं, तो यार तुम 3 नहीं 300 दे लो. सुनना ही नहीं है बात. डोंट वांट टू हियर मी व्हाट आई से. अपना ही चलाना है. देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स यू विल फाइंड द एग्जांपल्स. व्हेन द स्टूडेंट ज्वाइन, सर हम 2 एग्जाम दे, तो सर मेरे से हो जाएगा. अरे भाई मैं बाल सफेद हो गया भाई, समझ में आ गया कि नहीं होएगा. यू फोकस ऑन वन सब्जेक्ट प्रॉपरली, प्रॉपर स्टडी, अच्छा रहेगा. एग्जाम के टाइम पे द प्रेशर विल बी फर्दर माउंटेड. इफ समबडी इज गिविंग 2 एग्जाम्स नाउ, then the further pressure is there, whether study tax, whether study this that. हर क्वार्टर में एक एग्जाम देने में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, खत्म तो हो रहा है. बट नेवर मिस अ क्वार्टर, वॉट एवर मे बी द इश्यू. आपका तबीयत खराब है, कुछ भी है, क्वार्टर में एग्जाम जरूर देना है, सो दैट यू कैन कंप्लीट इन टाइम. और जो मैं अभी बोल रहा हूं, ये क्वेश्चंस ऐसे ही स्क्रीन पे करना है. आप टॉपिक वाइज अब करने के बाद आपको ध्यान आएगा कि मेरे को कैपिटल अलावेंस ठीक से नहीं ध्यान है, स्पेशल रेट वाला चेक करना है, लिविंग एकोमोडेशन में भूल गया हूं उसको चेक करना है, प्रॉपर्टी इनकम मेरे को नहीं ध्यान है, रेसिडेंशियल. सो यू विल वर्क ऑन योर वीक एरियाज इन 2-3 days. अगेन गिव वन मोर मॉक पेपर ऑन द इंस्टीट्यूट वेबसाइट ओनली. मेरा बात सुनिए, बिलीव करिए कि आपका 10% कम से कम बेसी आएगा. सुनना ही नहीं है मेरा बात. सर मेरा ये बाकी है, मैं फिर ये पढ़ूंगा. अरे यार मेरे को पता है क्या बाकी है नहीं बाकी है. बिलीव मी, I always say your scoring more marks is beneficial for me more, not for you. आप ज्यादा नंबर लाएंगे मेरे को फायदा है, आपको कम है. So how can I say you wrong thing? जब मंजिल एक है तो उस रास्ता भी तो एक ही होना पड़ेगा. When you and me have the same target, why you are applying a different path? तो नमन, अब की बार जब दूसरा सब्जेक्ट पढ़ेंगे, कॉपी पेन से नहीं पढ़ेंगे, प्रिंट आउट नहीं निकालेंगे, प्लीज हाथ जोड़कर विनती है. नहीं तो एफआर, एफएम और पीएम में बहुत गड़बड़ होएगा. वेरी प्रॉब्लमेटिक. जिंदगी में चेंज जरूरी है. व्हाई वी विल नॉट एक्सेप्ट द चेंज? व्हेन द इन्वायरमेंट इज फोर्सिंग अस टू चेंज, वी आर बाउंड टू चेंज. सो नेक्स्ट डे वी विल बी डूइंग one paper in PDF, because I don't want to do practice 1 and 2 in the class. That you should be doing on your own. And there is nothing that you will ask from me, sir ये गलती क्यों है? अरे यार ये सीधा provision है. If the FR, PM, FM paper is there, you have many things to ask. If the taxation paper is there, only one thing, sir I can't remember. तो उसका तो कोई solution नहीं है ना. You need to remember. And read the, what I should say, on the question, I mean to say on the question paper, what you can do in the Excel and all that, एक बार read कर लीजिए, so that you will be able to do faster calculations. That is less relevant in taxation paper, but FM, PM, FR, it will be very relevant, very useful. Okay, so meeting on Friday with a PDF paper, past term paper. And when we did the paper, think that what are your weak areas, work on that, and give another exam after 2 days. So 2 more are there, practice 1, practice 2. Do that in this coming 5 days. No tips, nothing. You will say me tips. How I can remember while teaching all of you, if I will study again and again. Since I am not studying taxation every day, but you all are studying every day. So wherever you are forgetting, read it again. That's the only. Nothing, sir. What problem? You say, now what is your issue? Now you say. What self-assessment problem you are facing? That तो सृष्टि सेइंग ना कि ध्यान नहीं रह रहे हैं, तो पढ़ने के टाइम पे बहुत ज्यादा इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज पे क्यों ध्यान देते हैं? समझने पे ध्यान दीजिए यार. बी प्रैक्टिकल इनफ, अदरवाइज आपको ध्यान करने में और तकलीफ होएगा. हर चीज को वी कैन नॉट रिमेंबर, मगअप नहीं कर सकते. उसका कोई सॉल्यूशन नहीं है. डेट्स फिर से पढ़ लीजिए. Wherever the areas are there which you are forgetting, you need to read that before the day of exam. और कुछ नहीं है सर. Okay, so meeting on Friday with a PDF paper of past term, not on the Institute Practice Platform website. Okay. Thank you to all of you. Take care. Tada.